four, three, two, one, go! Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. You got the super team of sports talk here with y'all, and I'm one half of it, Diego Barista, the Black Dominican Russian. And I'm here checking in, as always, with my main man, my partner in crime, the 6'0" post-up champ. Tell them who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy, Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Tuesday. Man, it's like March Madness time. What's good?
Right, and then you got on the fucking hoodie, and I got on the hoodie. I'm ready for this cold to be over with.
Yeah. You know, it's like it'd be straight in the afternoon, it'd be cold as hell in the morning.
Right, yeah, exactly. So hopefully, I think we're looking up to some 70s, hopefully, by the weekend, so that'll be nice. That'll be nice. No rain in the forecast this week, so that's a good look.
Absolutely.
All right. Good evening, good people, as we already said. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, those of you guys that listen to us on the podcast platform, continue to do so. That's either on Spreaker or on Apple iTunes. Search AA Sportscast, Straight Sports No Chaser. You'll find our shows and episodes there. Make sure you set those reminders so you can get them downloaded automatically when we upload them. And then also, those of you guys that like watching us on the YouTube channel, we appreciate that support and those comments as well. Continue to watch, hit those subscribe buttons when you're on YouTube. Leave us some thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever you feel fit for that episode. All right. We're kind of in a NBA season is kind of, we're waiting on the playoffs.
Right.
NFL, of course, still got free agency going on. Draft is still a little bit of ways away, so we'll touch on some football. And but right now, like you said, it's hot for March Madness. So we're gonna get into some of that, some of our predictions, where we think some upsets might be going forward in the week tournament that's gonna be happening starting Thursday. Well, kind of really starting tonight if you count the play-in game.
Tonight or tomorrow?
It's tonight. I think it's one tonight, one Wednesday, one tonight, one tomorrow, something like that.
Shout out to North Carolina Central, my mama's alma mater. Y'all get that win so Duke can slaughter y'all on Thursday.
I'm about to say, man. Yeah, we've been saying it for years, man. These small school tournaments, man, they be so crunk when they win, and I get it, but you playing for a chance to get your ass whooped first round.
Zion probably gonna dunk like 15 times in that game.
He might have 40, unless you are Virginia.
Hey,
remember they became the first number one last year to lose 16.
They sure did.
So, yeah, we'll touch on some of that when we get to the basketball section of it. But y'all know we heavy football here, whether it's in season or off season. If it's stuff popping off in the NFL, your boys right here got you covered.
Absolutely.
But before we get to that, we're all over the place tonight already. My bad. But before we get to all that, we're gonna go right how we always start the show. Something like the news, part of our open bar segment. This is the chance for us to deliver some funny stories that we see across the internet and on the news throughout the week. I said us, but tonight it's going to be an I as in Uncle Hate, because he got it covered tonight because your boy ain't do no homework. So, Uncle Hate, hit the people off with the stories. What you got for us tonight? I know you got some goodies.
Yeah, I got a few. Shout out to Jamal Truelove, a young man out in San Francisco who was in jail for the last 7 years for murder. He didn't do it. Got set up by the San Francisco police. They settled with him for $13.1 million.
That's it?
I was thinking about it. As long as I didn't get ass raped, $13.1 million ain't bad. You know?
I mean, it's a nice sum of money, but I guess it's really no dollar amount to me.
There's no dollar amount, right?
Put on something like that, like you said, because he lucky to just to survive being in jail. No, I'm sorry, not jail, prison.
Right. He was an aspiring actor and hip hop artist in 2007. His homeboy got killed. The police showed one picture of him, nobody else, and he got sent to jail. So 2007 to 2018. I like you said, there's no dollar amount, but I just hope he don't trick the money off. Make it last a little while. Don't go to the club. Don't be buying bottles.
Hey man, I don't know, dog. You've been down 5-6 years. I gotta go once, right? I gotta go ball.
Oh yeah,
once.
we're gonna go that first. You can trick off 100K, but 13.1, you need to make that ride for a while. So shout out to him, and of course the police who set him up. All 4 have retired. Not surprised.
Oh, so they just get to retire and not have to deal with the consequences of this shit.
Exactly.
Huh? Okay.
All right.
Full pitches intact.
Exactly. This is for one of your homeboys from your home state of Alabama. Hey, Chuck Person, keep your head up, cuz. Keep your head up. You see, Chuck Person is facing like 2.5 years behind this NCAA thing. He pled out. He pled guilty the other day.
Okay.
He took he received $91,500 in bribes. Went ahead and pled guilty. How is Bruce Pearl not in this shit? If he was taking the money on Bruce Pearl's behalf, how is he not in this shit?
Yeah, very interesting. Who was the other? Was it
a couple of dudes took pleas this week? A couple of them.
Okay, I mean, was it the Louisville cat that
Louisville, yeah.
That the assistant coach was taking money, but he still was on staff? I'm gonna say it was somebody different than Louisville.
It was a few of them I saw, but
okay.
Chuck Person's 54. I ain't trying to do 2 years, and I had to get the bread back.
Hey, now if you were smart, you made that night. You worked for you. You made something on top of it. You know what I'm saying? And you got that tucked away somewhere. But I mean, 2.5 on the plea. Well, I mean, what was he looking at if you go to trial and get convicted?
Well, they said it's probably a month, so you might not even do the full 2.5. That's what he might not do that. He shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, because the guidelines. That's the time that we normally see before they actually sentence them is usually like the max that charge carries. So they factor in first time offender, if he was cooperative with them, all that kind of shit. And then like you say, he may end up doing a year,
12 months, 2.5, 12 months. Yeah.
Well, it's fair time, so he had to do every day of it. Ain't no short time. But if you facing 5 to 10, I think that's a good trade off.
Keep your head up, Chuck. Keep your head up. This is an update. You remember old boy from the game, Pooch Hall? His dumbass was driving drunk with his child in the car.
Vaguely, I never really got into the game, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's that show that was on BET, right?
Yeah, he's on Ray Donovan now. Pooch Hall, basically. He actually avoided jail time by pleading out in his situation. He's got to do 3 years of probation and a parenting class and all kind of other stuff. Dummy, you don't drive drunk on the highway with your child in the front seat in your lap. That's just not smart at all.
He was. Yeah, even if you sober, that's not a good look.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. All right, shout out to Jordan Nixon. This young lady went to high school in Douglasville. I think Doug is the only high school out that way, right?
No, you said Douglasville?
Douglasville. Doug ain't in Douglasville?
Nah, that's the City of Atlanta school there. Doug is.
Okay. I don't know what school she went to in Douglasville, but basically, baby girl applied for 50 schools for college. She got accepted to 39.
That's what's up.
And she got $1.6 million in offers and scholarship money. Man, her SAT had to be the shit. And her grades.
And her application fee. Who the hell paid for all them application fees?
Oh, my God. That's right. 39 schools. That's about $50 a pop.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? 50? Hey, if I'm her parents, I'm like, yo, we know you smart. You know you're going to get in at least half of these schools. Yo, pick 2 or 3 of them and fill out applications and stop bullshitting. Because even though you get offers from all these schools, all these scholarships, you can't transfer one scholarship from one school to another. So it looks like a big amount of money, but she got to pick one school at the end of the day, and she's going to get whatever that scholarship amount is.
Hey, shout out to her. Man.
I guess I sound like a hater, don't I?
You remember back when we was young Thundercats? Once we got that classification for Georgia State, we was good. Shit. I took that second SAT because my mama told me to. Once I got what I needed the first time, it's good.
And that's probably why we're doing independent podcasts right now.
But I tell you this much: we probably don't owe as much in student loans. We probably make more money than they do. Yes, sir.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Let's go to work.
All right. I don't see that you had it on the list, so I'm gonna use my section of something like the news. It hit a couple points that happened today.
Mike, I know what you're going. I know where you're going. I left.
Mike Trout signing a 430. Well, is it finalized, or are they still saying they come into an agreement? I haven't looked at that.
The numbers wouldn't have went out there unless it wasn't legit. So it's
but,
gonna happen.
It's either going to happen soon or it's already happened. But Mike Trout, $430 million from the Angels over 12 years. Hey, man, it's Rally Monkey City all day for 430, especially considering Bryce Harper just got $330 million for 13 years. So Mike Trout got $100 million more dollars in one less year on the deal. Rally Monkeys all day.
Because, I mean, for you people who don't know, the Rally Monkey was like legit hot. What was that, about 5-6 years ago, give or take? Might have been longer.
It was like last time they were in the playoffs, I looked it up today. I think it was 2014 was the last time they was in the playoffs. And then from about 2002 to 2009 is when they was hot. That's when the Rally Monkey kind of first hit.
If you got a monkey with your team jersey on jumping around, that's the shit. That's the shit. But, you know, they ain't been – you said they ain't made the playoffs since 2014. So
yeah, before that, I think it was like 2011.
If I'm not mistaken, that Japanese pitcher they signed last year, he had to have Tommy John surgery. So I kind of thought he would have left, but that's a whole lot of bread to leave on the table. Guaranteed. You get all your money in baseball, people. Every dollar.
Yeah. And you know, typically with the Tommy John surgery, I think most of the pitchers come back actually stronger after they have it. I want to say
complete games no more anyway, so it ain't like that like it used to be.
But hey man, for $430 million, I didn't give a damn if you had Tommy John surgery, Sean John surgery. I don't 430.
That's a lot of bread, cuz.
Hey man, like I told you earlier, I get the Rally Monkey tatted on me. 430 million.
That's a lot. That's $35 million a year for 12 years.
That's generational wealth, man. And especially when you kind of throw in the fact that, you know, and this may have had something to do with why he just jumped on that deal. Look how long it took Bryce and Machado to get what they got. Even though it was a big number, it came in short of what a lot of people thought they were going to get. So, you know, he already established out there. You know, he may be one of those guys who want to stay on one team. You know, if he believes in what the front office is doing, if he believes that they can get back to where they were in the early to mid 2000s, then hey, sign away.
Because I believe everything you're telling me right now.
You know what I'm saying? Sunny California, hey, shout out to Mike Trout, man. You got your paper, and he's only what 26.
Because he's gonna be 39 when this deal is done. In the prime of his life, $430 million in his account. That's a go. That's a go. I thought you were gonna go the way of the Robert Kraft thing. I forgot to put that.
I had that. I had that. I just wrote that down. Write that down. See, the English is broken. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when we only apply to 2 schools.
Yeah. We had a good time. Man. Good stories.
But no, Robert came out today that Robert Kraft, along with they say several other of the men that you know was caught up in this massage parlor hokey pokey, were offered plea deals to basically get out of any, I think, jail time or whatever. No, to have the charges dropped if they would just admit that if they would have went to trial, that they would have been convicted guilty.
Is that not the stupidest shit you ever heard of?
This sounds like some off-the-wall shit right here, because they said the prosecutors actually offered this deal. And last I checked, prosecutors are usually about big cases, trying to make a name for themselves and come up to the next level to get some exposure. Why would they offer this cockamamie shit here?
What does it mean, though, if you go up there and be like, yeah, I would have been guilty? You're not guilty, though. So it's not like it's going on your record as a prosecutor as a dub. That's not even an L. What is that, an incomplete?
Man, that's lukewarm. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. I don't get it either. But because at first I thought it was okay. Robert Kraft threw some money around, and he didn't got off. But when I seen that they offering this to several people,
have you heard any other big names that come out with this? Because I know they said it was like not just him, but it was like other cats involved.
I haven't heard any other names that were actually involved. The biggest thing that I heard after the fact, I don't even know if we brought this up last week or not. But
we really touched this a lot. So
the ex-owner of the massage parlor was chilling with Donald Trump watching the Super Bowl. And Kraft and Trump is boys. So I was thinking, well, shit, is this Donald Trump a part of the trafficking? Along, with this massage parlor owner? Well, let's say ex-owner now. But, is that the bigger name? Is that the bigger fish to fry in this situation? If I'm running the chicks and you my homeboy, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put you on to where they at, right? So, hey, and if it gets to that point, then you got to come back to Robert Kraft and be like, okay, this ain't no situation where you didn't know that the girls was being trafficked or whatever. Your homeboy is running girls.
Right.
Y'all tight. You knew. A lot of people think he knew anyway. But I think that would just even cast even more shadow of a doubt.
I deny that shit like LeBron saying he don't know shit about what Rich is doing.
Why does he say that?
It's such a joke.
That's like one of us. That's like one of us saying, I don't know what the hell he doing. Yeah. We got a business together. We've been friends since childhood. I don't know nothing about that.
I have no idea. All right, my last thing I got before we get off something like the news, because I don't think we're gonna have time to touch it later on. Does Manny Pacquiao want anything to do with Earl Spence?
For that check he do.
Okay.
For that check he do. And it'll be a nice fight. I hope it happens because I want to see Earl Spence get in that spotlight. I've been watching him for a few years now, and I've been thinking that he's ready. I definitely think he's ready, to kind of be one of them top contenders in that welterweight division. There's a lot of good fighters in the division, though. A lot of good fighters in the division. And for him to get that kind of pay-per-view money to go in there and beat Manny Pacquiao's ass, this won't be Adrian Broner and Pacquiao. It's not going to be that if the fight happens. Trust me.
Because this was Manny. Sure. Why not? He put his ass on blast like right after the fight. Hey, Manny, come here. Manny.
Yeah. I mean, because he probably heard the comments because before the fight even started, they was interviewing Manny, and Manny was saying basically the winner of this fight is pretty much need to come holler at me. So
this is March, so Labor Day probably, give or take.
It could happen by the end of the year. They go ahead and get the paperwork done. Now, I think what's going to hold it up or prevent it from happening altogether is going to be the money.
Okay.
Because of course you got to.
Is he a decent name to get? I don't fuck with boxing like
he can't. He's
is that
not
70,
a name.
30, 60, 40. What do you call the split?
He's not a name that can. I mean, this last fight was on pay-per-view, but Mikey Garcia was a pretty big name with the low weight classes in themselves. So he's a pretty big name because he was undefeated. I think he's held like 5 championships in 5 different divisions. So he's almost like the new age Pacquiao. I remember Pacquiao was beating everybody's ass in the lightweights. He kept going up and up and up in divisions.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Mikey Garcia was. So him and Errol Spence kind of being the up-and-coming stars what made that fight attractive for pay-per-view. Now, I don't think Errol Spence will be able to demand a split.
So 60-40, you think?
Manny Pacquiao. I'm thinking 60-40. I think that would be probably a good point. If he can get more than that, if he can get 50-50, then so be it. But I'm thinking 60-40. If they come at him with 70-30, that's just disrespectful. And I think if Pacquiao is still affiliated with Bob Arum, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that part. That I could see Bob Arum trying to pull some shit like that. Yeah. So that's just a couple things to be out on the lookout for. But I hope that fight happens. I really do.
Absolutely. All right, you ready to get to it?
Yeah, man. Let's get right on into it. I mean, free agency still popping off. We've hit really a little downtime, kind of, so to speak. That first wave and kind of hit. All the big money deals have pretty much been done. Um, Now, I think which is just as important is filling out the team, filling some holes. Um, you know, this is the shop with Aunt Kroger for 10 for 10. So how much bang can you get for your buck at this point in the season? Exactly.
Why does Eric Flowers keep getting jobs?
Because he's big.
But he sucked though.
It's almost like 7 footers in basketball. If you're 7 feet, somebody's going to put you on a 13-man roster out of 30 teams.
This dude is terrible though. I mean, everybody knows.
It's a numbers thing. It's just a limited amount of humongous human beings that can get on the football field, on a Sunday. And even the worst of them will watch most of us on a regular.
I mean, and when you put it that way, you 100. Absolutely. Rashard Breeland signed with Kansas City. Montez Burfict got cut by Cincinnati, but he signed with the Raiders today. Has there ever not been a player more perfect for a team than Burfict out in Oakland?
Yeah, he definitely seems like a Raider, right?
I just thought about something. Him and AB on the same team. After he knocked AB the fuck out a couple years ago in the playoffs there.
Oh, yeah?
Was that the playoffs or was like to get in the playoffs?
Maybe one around week 16, week 17. Yeah, one of those.
Boy, he laid him out that game. But, I don't know what he has left because as much as he been knocking folks out, he been getting knocked out himself because he done had a whole lot of concussions. But seems like a Raider. We're going to see. Max Unger, did he not pull a surprise on New Orleans? Hey.
I was like, retired. I don't remember that being in the cards.
Like, hey, I'm done. Done with what?
Right. Done working out for the day. Like, I just lost my audio in my ear. But, what you mean you done? Yeah, keep it on to the house, man.
Yeah, that changed things on them. I want to say he was like 31. He wasn't even an old cat. And centers can play for a while, offensive linemen in general. So that kind of messed with their money, I'm assuming, because it's not like they had a lot to begin with, but they had to turn around and spend some on a new center. So, Drew Brees adjusted his contract earlier this week to free up about $10.5 million. But they're basically shopping. The winning teams shop at Family Dollar. The losers tend to shop at, what's the good one?
I don't know. They going to
Target.
Yeah. Okay, we can go Target.
Yeah.
Whole Foods. Yeah.
There you go. So it was only so many places they can go. Mark Barron, I like that to Pittsburgh. I like that because at some point we got to acknowledge the fact Shazier is probably not playing again, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't even understand why they even still holding on to that.
I like that they're doing that at least because I think they said they got one more year to hold on to him before he can get pension and benefits.
No, I mean, okay. I mean, not the money part. I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm just saying the fact that, and maybe that's why they got to do it to keep.
They got to do it that way.
Because otherwise, man, I would have I think you could tell. Wow, nah, bro. It's taking you. It's taking a long time just for you to get back to doing regular stuff.
I mean, he's deadlifting and everything, but that ain't NFL contact. That's not. It's a big difference. Yeah. So shout out to you guys in that regard.
What's up? I haven't even seen him really run. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's going on? It'll be 2 years this season, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
It'll come like November, whenever it happens. Yeah, I can't. I don't see him playing again.
Yeah, that's a done deal. But at least you guys are doing that. Fitzmagic is now the starting bridge quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I saw somebody on TV yesterday said, man, they're going to be exciting as hell. He's going to throw a whole lot of touchdowns and a whole lot of picks.
Hey, for the first 6-7 weeks, you know how Fitz get down.
But you know what bothers me about this? Regardless of what he does, this goes on the new coach's record. And that's the cat from New England, the black dude.
Yeah.
You know,
What's his name? Flowers.
Flowers.
Yeah.
And even when they say they're trying to lose and they ain't stressing, that shit always come back to bite you. Because they'll turn right back around and say, man, y'all ain't win but like 3 games last year. You know, we're going to let you go. So I don't like that part of it, but that's the business of it. But, you know, Fitzmagic will be entertaining.
Just don't what Flowers got to do is make sure that when and if they lose, which they are,
yeah,
they still are competitive and they still playing hard.
Yeah.
If they out there losing by 20, 30 points every week, the team don't really seem dialed in or paying him much attention. That's when he can find himself looking for employment very soon.
I keep hearing them. I'm gonna go off track for a second. I keep hearing them. They're planning to tank for Tua. Do you think Tua would be a good NFL quarterback? I'm not sold on it.
From what I've seen so far, I don't, because I think he has too much Brett Favre in him, and he ain't Brett Favre yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some of the shit that he does, you can get away with that shit playing Appalachian State.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even some of these SEC college schools, you can get away with that shit. But in the NFL, some of these windows that you see him try to throw in, bro, that ain't gonna be there at the next level. It's barely there. Some of those throws are you barely getting through. Against some of the good teams. If you look at like the SEC championship, they bowl games. It wasn't that shit that was going on early in the season against them smaller schools. And NFL teams are much better than that. So he's got some growing to do to me as a quarterback before he's ready to be named the next savior.
And I ain't trying to sacrifice no year for no dude I ain't 100% sure on. But that's all I keep hearing from Miami, tank for Tua. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, it sounds catchy. But you start off with one quarterback about the end of the season. By the time that draft has to get here, it's something totally different. Because at the beginning of this year, number 1 pick coming in was Ed Oliver, the defensive lineman from Houston.
Yeah.
Now in some of the mocks I'm seeing middle first round. So that means probably late first round.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
you're right on that.
And there's a lot of quarterbacks coming out next year, from what I understand. That class is going to be a lot better than this one. So it's going to be hard for Mr. Tua to stand out.
All right, Jacksonville added 2 weapons in Chris Conley and Jeff Swain for what's the boy name? Foles. It's a lot of low spades, B.
I mean, I guess.
I'm not understanding why they didn't keep Swain in Dallas for Jason Witten, no less. Why didn't y'all just give him a job in the front office and say, we're going to look out for the homie, instead of putting him on the field for 25 plays a game?
They must believe that Rico Gathers is going to get his shit together.
Has he got off the weed yet?
They must believe that Rico Gathers is going to get his shit together. And put the blunt down. That's only because Swain, I think he played pretty decent for them last year. Yeah.
He was solid. I mean, Dak ain't going down the field, so you got to keep it underneath. You got to.
Or maybe did they feel that he was going to cost too much money? How much did he get from Jacksonville?
I didn't see the numbers. I mean, but what can you really ask from them?
No, but I'm looking at the fact that, because I'm looking at a couple of the other pickups that they made. I think we talked about one right before we went on air. They signed Randall Cobb. I think that's going to be solid. And maybe they thought Swain is going to cost too much. Let's use that money to get a couple other weapons. So they got Cobb, and I want to say they brought in somebody else.
They're trying to trade for Robert Quinn because everybody else is suspended for drugs. So they got to bring somebody in. And
I think Eric Berry was in the building yesterday. So maybe they're looking at saving some money. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That makes sense. Okay, dog. Last week we came on here and we said OBJ got traded. Well, a day later, the Giants signed his replacement. Everything is right in New York. Everything. Golden Tate is here to save the day. Yes, people, I said Golden Tate. 74 balls, 795 yards, and 4 touchdowns. What the entire fuck?
I mean, they're going to have to piece it together, man. He's better than probably most of what's left on their market. So, I mean, you talked about the low spades. They top 3 weapons is probably Ingram, which I think I saw he may be on the trade block.
Really?
I think I saw that. But,
Oh, wow.
some of the stuff that's out here, you can't really tell whether it's legit or not.
Wow.
So let's just say he's not going to be traded. They got Ingram, Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard.
Who going down the field?
Right. So we're gonna see. Maybe they plan on drafting somebody. I don't know, but they play. But Dave Gettleman, and we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
that you can win even while rebuilding. So, maybe
if all of them three dudes are going 10 to 15 yards out, just standing there waiting on Eli. Hey, Saquon, bless your heart. I know you didn't think this shit when you got drafted last year. It went left quickly.
But do they really need a deep threat? Because if Eli was only going to have 2 seconds to throw the ball, ain't going to be no deep passes.
Yeah, we know that boy Eli ain't taking no hits. If it can be avoided, no.
So if it can be avoided, he can't even avoid it. Last year, he couldn't even avoid it anymore. He was right on top of his ass.
Absolutely. All right, Ryan Tannehill got traded to the Titans. He signed a $7 million deal, and the Dolphins are paying $5 million of it. I put his stats on here compared to Marcus Mariota. Why do I think he can beat him out in camp? When I say him, I mean Tannehill.
No, I mean I don't see it. I don't see that being far fetched myself. You hit me when it happened. Like, so what does this mean for Mariota? It means his ass is in a competition this year, and they letting him know, hey, but this is your last chance right here.
Sometimes we've been doing this since about 93 talking sports. Sometimes I go with him and I be real excited with shit, and he'll just hit me with like the one word, like bullshit answer. And like I said this to you last week, he's like, they the same dude. And I be wanting the explanation, like to talk about it. They the same, cuz. They really are. They really are the same.
Hey man, 8-8. 8-8, 9-7. But yeah, I could very well see Tannehill beating Mariota out. As a matter of fact, I may go as far as to say I might like Tannehill a little bit better if you
had. You play 14 games and only have 11 touchdowns, and you the starter. And I'm talking about Marcus Mariota. How?
Yeah, they got weapons.
Corey Davis wasn't that bad. They had Tajay Sharp. I know Delaney Walker got hurt, but I think you can fall into 15 touchdowns as a quarterback if you start.
Yeah. I know they were run heavy a lot last year, and they didn't do a lot in the passing game. But yeah, I mean, you're a starting quarterback. Yeah, you got to throw more than 11 touchdowns. Hey man, but he got a high completion percentage. He got a high QBR. Ain't that the shit they be looking at?
Yeah, that's what folks look at. But yeah, I think he's gone from there next year. I mean, they got 2 quarterbacks, and basically when you got 2, that means you ain't got shit, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Not to make light of a situation, but Kareem Hunt only caught 8 games. Cleveland came up.
Yeah, I think so. He's gonna be fresh for the second half of the season. He'll be a nice compliment to Nick Chubb. I still think at some point they're gonna trade Duke Johnson.
Oh, I think he's gone before the beginning of the season. 25 touchdowns in 2 seasons, with almost 3,000 combined yards receiving and rushing. And they got that dude. He ain't gonna make no money no time soon. Like no time soon.
Nah, because I think his contract for this year was only like $800,000, and he gonna lose
3rd round pick. So no real money.
Yeah.
That is a come up.
He might walk away with $100,000 this year,
basically.
Because if the salary was $800,000, he gonna get about $400,000. It's gonna get taxed. He got to pay agents. He got to pay publicists. He got bills to pay. He might have $100,000 left after it's all said and done.
Hey, we're gonna get into predictions at some point down the road. Once camp and everything. But I'm hard pressed to see how this team don't make the playoffs.
I was just about to say, man, because adding him in that speed to what you already got in Odell and Jarvis and Njoku and Callaway.
Yeah, I was about to say Callaway. Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens, you were a first-time head coach at any level, and most coaches got to start off with maybe I don't know, some type of like a Camry or something, or Honda Accord.
Yeah.
You starting off with Benzes and up. You got Benzes, you got Ferraris, you got Lambos. Can you drive them?
That's it. Man, that's a solid situation there. Hey, how do you feel about Jordan Matthews and Jason Verrett coming to your 49ers?
Hey, man, let me tell you something about Jordan Matthews, man. And I'm going to try to be nice. He sucked.
He's like a slower and younger version of Garcon.
Yeah, man. That's one of those signings where you like, okay, he may or may not even make the team.
Didn't he look decent for the Eagles last year though?
I mean, it's in spots he can. So don't get me wrong, and I ain't gonna sit here and act like he can't, help us to some degree. Like we got this overbearing cupboard of receivers because we don't.
Yeah.
But he's typically a slot guy, and I'm not convinced that he's all that much better than Trent Taylor that we already got there. Now he was hurt a lot pretty much all of last year, but the year before he played pretty good. So I'm not convinced that Jordan Matthews is actually going to end up being a very big part of the team, but it depends on how we feel some of the rest of these receivers out. If he's healthy, I like the Jason Verrett pickup for real.
That's pretty solid.
He's a solid.
He was a shutdown corner before he got hurt.
Yeah. Because I saw a little bit of tape on him. One game in particular, he was going up against AB, and he's giving AB all he could handle.
Yeah.
So
that about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I watched it.
We are the king of signing people coming off of ACLs. Most of them don't work out, so we're gonna see how this one go, and we're gonna see how the Quan Alexander signing go. But at least John Lynch is kind of shot Kyle Shanahan. They got a direction. Because last year that defense was a liability, both up front and in the back end. So I'm glad to see that we're making some move with some solid veteran guys that can definitely tighten up some things. And like I said, if these things work out when these guys are healthy, then we look like geniuses because we got most of these dudes for pennies on the dollar.
It's low risk.
Yep.
I mean, and we know how y'all get there. Y'all give funny money contracts.
Even D4's deal is a funny money contract.
So, honestly, I hope none of it works out, but I digress.
Hey, man, you keep hoping on Eric Berry to come save y'all, man.
He coming, damn it. Blake Bortles to the Rams. I told you last week, I felt like New England should have grabbed him.
Yeah. I mean, you did say that. I thought that somebody like Cleveland probably should have snatched him.
Yeah, you did say that. That would have been solid.
Yeah. So good. I mean, that's a good pickup for the Rams. Now, what's gonna happen though? Because from Sean McVay first year to last year, even though they got all the way to the Super Bowl,
they got exposed.
There were some times I was like, okay, Jared Goff, are we regressing? Or are we getting a little bit better? What's going on? Right. Now, again, young quarterback, you take away a security blanket like your slot receiver, like Cooper Kupp. Him and Cooper Kupp had a real good connection. And you add to the fact that Brandon Cooks just runs pretty much go routes. That just really leaves you with Robert Woods because you really don't have a tight end. And that could help make a quarterback not look so great too. So we're gonna see what goes on. But if Jared Goff plays just average, where I was going with that was, will Sean McVay go to Blake Bortles? Because you see him, like, he's been doing good in practice. They'll let him have a good preseason.
I told you yesterday. He was like, well, shit, they got Goff. How he gonna play? How they gonna trade him? He got 4 games to play in the preseason. If he ball in the preseason, somebody get hurt, it's a chance for him to get traded. I mean, you remember last year, Teddy caught a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
Did Teddy play for the Jets
no football? Obama was still president last time Teddy Bridgewater played a game, I think.
Exactly. So we're going to see where that goes. My Carolina Panthers, we picked up Bruce Irvin. I saw it come across my timeline. I was like, well, went to Stevenson. But what else? He had 6.5 sacks last year between 2 teams. You give me a solid 8 to 10. I'm okay with that on a 1-year deal because we're shopping at Family Dollar. We ain't got no money just like most of them teams. So
Right.
I'm good with that. We're gonna see which way that goes and go from there.
What I want from Bruce Irvin, and I was telling you earlier, I ain't always been too high on him, but he's still a productive player. I just think he's a one-trick pony.
Absolutely is.
But even with his sack numbers, with him, you got to watch when he getting the sacks.
Yeah.
Getting 2 sacks in the first quarter ain't as impactful. I need you to get some of them sacks in some crunch time situations.
I should look up when he got these sacks because he very well could have got 3 of them in one game.
Yeah, you never know. So that's I think what's going. I can't say the next step for him because he's 31.
He's like 31. So
just a few more of those in crunch time situations. But yeah, if you can get a good solid 6 to 8 sacks out of him on a 1-year deal, yeah, that's a great pickup actually.
I can live with that. All right, I got 14 really. 14 remaining best free agents per the NFL Network. Ziggy Ansah, he ain't gonna get the bag that he wants. I thought Justin Houston was about to sign with Pittsburgh the other day, but it hasn't happened allegedly. Sue gonna have to wait, I think. We talked about Eric Berry. Any of them names stick out to you?
No, not really.
I like that Randall Cobb signing by Dallas.
I like that one with Dallas. I think that he gives him along with Amari and Gallup, whatever they do in that tight end, I don't know. But them 3 receiving options and Zeke. No excuses really, that honestly.
It's really not.
I think those are more than capable receiving options, especially when you got somebody like Zeke. I think that's the rest of this stuff.
What do you think gonna happen with Clay Matthews?
I don't know. Somebody pick him up. He'll watch you fucking around and end up with the Patriots.
I was just about to say, don't he look like a Patriot?
For like $1 million.
Exactly. Go get them. What? He'll get them a solid 9 sacks, but they'll be meaningful sacks.
Who will give you 9 sacks?
Oh, he'll get them with that team. They'll scheme him correctly.
Oh, okay. He ain't getting you 9 off pure talent no more.
Hell no, they gonna scheme him.
He do more slinging his damn hair than he do a quarterback these days.
Well, he could end up a Ram too. He was a USC cat. They got a little bit of money to give him, but we're gonna see. It'll be late.
But a team that could use a tight end, he been known for having stone hands, but he been doing pretty decent the last couple of years. Jared Cook.
He balled for Oakland last year. I think he's just waiting to see what that market gonna be.
Right. Everything else, you said, I think Eric Berry, as long as he's healthy, that's gonna be a good pickup for somebody.
Let me ask you a question, and I could be dead wrong with this. You probably gonna sun me, but right now, today, is Jared Cook better than Gronk?
What?
Is Jared Cook better than Gronk right now?
Rob Gronkowski?
Gronkowski.
No.
The best ability is availability.
You said better than.
Like right now, today.
So I'm assuming that means like on the field comparing them.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a way to make my argument, but I really can't.
No, I got you.
Go ahead.
Well, you factor it in being available is part of it. I got you.
Yes.
I'm still taking Gronk.
Okay. I mean, his hands have been suspect for years. We're talking about Cook.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he actually caught the ball last year. But everybody catches the ball in the contract year. Everybody.
Yeah, that. And, when you're pretty much the only receiving option, somebody got to catch the balls.
You want to know that. All right. I think we're done with free agency. We're going to see what happens. Isaiah Crowell, does he not seem like a good look for New Orleans? Or did they sign? Oh, they signed Latavius Murray.
They signed Latavius Murray, which I still don't understand that. But, yeah, Crow going to help somebody. He always does.
I'm trying to think who could use a thumper. But, somebody going to get hurt between now and
I'm trying to think of the teams that actually matter because I don't even care about them. You know what? Philly still need a back.
We can use them. Carolina, we can use a thumper.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey can't run every play.
Yeah. Philly needs a running back.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah.
The other teams that matter. Seahawks got Carson.
I like Carson.
Yeah, it's probably a couple spots. I just can't think of them all. Baltimore got Ingram. Yeah, it's a few spots he can definitely go. Hell, he can go back up James Conner in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Or maybe even take the job. Yeah. He'll definitely find a home though.
Speaking of Pittsburgh,
always do.
Speaking of Pittsburgh.
No, I'm sorry. As Pittsburgh turns, what do we call the soap opera?
I think we're done now. I think the show is Ben and the Kids since AB is gone.
Okay, it seems like they be in the news every week.
I was gonna leave them off until the story came out, but please tell me Ben can't be this much of a sucker. Did you see the play?
I didn't go back and watch the play.
They've been showing the play all week long. The play we're talking about, people. A fullback for Pittsburgh back in 2014, Josh Harris, he accused Ben Roethlisberger of purposely fumbling a play late in the game in Week 17. Todd Haley called a running play when Ben wanted to kneel down. I saw the play.
Okay, what did it look like?
It looked like Ben did that shit.
Oh, really?
They've been showing it on TV all week. It looked like Ben did that shit.
Man, you gonna make me pull this play up.
He cannot be this much of a sucker, B. Look at it. Please look at it while we on here right now. And the way he fell down, he cannot be this much of a sucker. I refuse to believe. And homie has no reason to lie. No reason. None whatsoever. I'm sure, man, we've been talking about this on and off the last couple of weeks. I mean, him and Bron just keep going back and forth between like worst leader.
I'm gonna find it here in a second. But I mean, if he did it, it's really just funny at this point.
Because I want to say they was up 10 with a little bit of time left, and Ben wanted to just flat out kneel down, which I understand. But Haley called a running play. And he wasn't feeling it, so, I mean, it wasn't a good look. I meant to send the shit to you last night when I was looking at it, but
yeah, I got it up now. I'm looking at it, so he hits the fullback kind of in the thigh.
It was supposed to be for the running back. The fullback wasn't expecting to play.
Right, but he kind of ran into him to fumble the ball.
Right.
At full speed, I can't. Well, with the video that I just maybe pull up, I'm gonna look at it when we get off. I can't tell on that video because full speed. I need a slow down version. But
I can't believe
that looked fake.
I can't believe he would be this much of a sucker.
Hey man, I can believe it. I can believe it. Now I didn't, but I was trying to figure out what Josh Harris's angle is. I didn't really agree with him coming out 5 years later.
But somebody said on TV yesterday. They said, I want to say it was Was it Marcellus Wiley? No, Shannon Sharp. Not one former vet has come forward and spoke up in Ben's behalf. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Plexico Burris, Santonio Holmes, Fast Willie Parker. Nobody has said shit.
I forgot about Willie Parker.
You remember? Nobody said shit, cuz. So that's like me sitting there on the sidelines and motherfuckers are slandering you left and right. And I ain't said nothing.
Y'all talking about him? Oh, I ain't even here. What happened? What y'all say? Yeah.
Nothing. It's quiet.
Only person I've heard say anything is Hines Ward, and it wasn't an endorsement of Ben.
It wasn't an endorsement. You're right.
So we know how Uncle James feel. Troy Polamalu ain't gonna say
everything's Tomlin's fault. Everything.
Yeah. Troy Polamalu ain't gonna he's not gonna come out and say shit.
Lyman else come out. I think Jerome Bettis spoke on it. He didn't endorse him.
Yeah.
But when he was there, Ben was a kid basically, so you can't really say that.
Yeah. I wonder what Joey Porter got to say.
Good question. He probably on that. They fired him this year. Everything Ben's fault.
Right. Yeah, they did fire him.
You asked me about my coach earlier. I'm gonna ask you again. Is Tomlin on the hot seat this year?
He on something.
It's not hot. Is it lukewarm?
It's pack your bags if we don't get some wins. I don't know. It's hard to say because this team is so dysfunctional. You know, you want to look at their history and say, hey, they don't really fire coaches a lot, in which they don't. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. But I would
say like this year.
I would think he's more on the side of being the hot seat than not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, they fallen one by the wayside, and unfortunately, I think Ben is going to be the last person standing, and it's going to be too late. They're going to realize that the whole time it wasn't really everybody else; it's him.
Ben gonna have a new contract probably by the time camp roll around, with a lot of real money up front and nothing. No talk of the disruption. You let the best wide receiver and the best running back leave. Hey man, that's Pittsburgh. We can get off them. We got to call Dave Gettleman to the front of the congregation.
Come on down, Mr. Gettleman. I don't know what they putting in his chemo.
We were talking, I want to say yesterday, maybe today, about the lying season all-stars.
Right.
And I couldn't pull it together because everybody lies. But I just want to get to that point in my life to where I can lie like this and believe the shit.
With a straight face.
With a straight face.
Yeah.
Cats get on TV and lie. And they believe the shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like the next level, like the glow, but I'm not there. I can't lie to myself like that. Dave Gettleman and John Elway, these are probably the only two we talked about. How do you lie like this and believe it? I don't get it.
Yeah, man. People, in case y'all haven't heard, so we're going to recap a little bit. So Dave Gettleman, he finally got asked about the Odell trade situation. And he said, yeah, of course, we did not sign him to trade him, but we got an offer that we just couldn't refuse. Now, keep in mind that this offer that they just couldn't refuse consisted of a mid-first round pick, I think the 17th pick.
17.
A third-round pick.
Like 60-something.
And Jabril Peppers.
A first-round pick last year, but meh.
And that's it. I wish I had more to add to that, but that's it. That was an
all-pro generational wide receiver.
Yeah. That was the deal that they just could not refuse. And then to double down, he says that it wasn't that it was strictly a football move.
I wanted to come up with something. I saw you exchanging on Twitter the other day. People act like Odell has been a problem. What has he done?
Right. I mean,
I'm trying to think back. Besides the shit he pulled on the sideline in 2015, 16 maybe. What has he done?
That was and I give him a mulligan on that because if you're talking about the Josh Gordon game.
Now I'm talking about the net.
Yeah, I'll say the proposing to whatever the proposing was after the fact, but the kicking that.
That's it.
Is that what he's done? Okay.
What has he done?
The picture on the boat. Is that what he's done?
I mean, y'all don't live with that.
Or maybe it was that he was up in that hotel room with that girl with that pizza and that Parmesan cheese.
That shit don't even hold water.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody even talk about that no more, so it couldn't have been that.
Let me give you an old player term. I used to tell, the chicks back in the day, if you catch me for some bullshit and forgive me for it, it don't hold water. You can't bring it up no more. Y'all paid him. Y'all paid him. You can't bring that shit up no more in that hotel room. You handed him $95 million after the fact. That's over. So I'm trying, what did he do that he's the problem? When Eli, tell me, ballpark it, dog. How many yards Eli can throw that ball down the field right now?
30, 33. 40 if it ain't cold. And he got to do it from his knees. That's about it. What really baffles me is saying, okay, you're going to say that you traded him for football reasons, that it wasn't about anything else. But you said that you didn't sign him to trade him. That's a football move.
Football move.
So, like, if you traded him for something else, I wouldn't admit that I traded him for kicking a net and taking a picture on a boat either, because that shit is stupid.
That's old.
You know what I'm saying?
That's old. You telling me they couldn't have got a second out of this?
Like you said, why are
What's the second and the
why are
third?
you picking up the phone? What did he do that made you even start fielding calls for Odell Beckham? Is it something
But
that
you
you
remember
think
we were
behind the
talking
scenes?
last week, and I told you, I said maybe it's some shit behind the scenes
No.
that we don't know. We ain't heard the whole story, but for them to take a first and a third and this cat, that's it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And then try to sell it off as an offer that we could not refuse. Stop it.
That's what y'all couldn't refuse.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
shit.
Stop playing with our emotions, man. Stop acting like we stupid, like we don't understand what's going on. You know?
This shit is more egregious than him cutting Steve Smith. Steve Smith was old. I couldn't even be mad about that. He was old. Odell is dead in the middle of his prime. Right now. Dead in the middle of his prime.
Smith is still boggles. No, you can't give him one on that.
Nah, and at the end of the day, if Odell was getting the ball, would we hear any of this shit?
I don't know, because to me he didn't make a big fuss. Or you know what? Maybe was it the interview that he did?
They talking about the Wayne interview. But damn, cuz, okay, the only routes I can run, the bubble, the slant, and you probably gonna hit me deep maybe once a game. That's it.
Off a real good play action.
And he got to be wide open. And Eli's getting rid of it, what, 3 to 5 seconds? Ain't no first, second, third read. But even after all of that, they keeping Eli.
Oh yeah, they're going down with that boat. They're going down with that boat. And you know what? And I wonder. I think some of it may just be that the fact when they had what's the old boy name? The coach before Sherman.
Gilbert was I wasn't Gilbert.
No,
what's that dude's name? The sucker. You know, we know what we talking about. Yeah,
him. But how they botched the benching of Eli, breaking his streak, and all of that, how that kind of backfired on them PR wise. I think that has a little something to do with why they just holding on to him for so long. You know.
Let me read this direct quote from
McAdoo. That's his fucking name.
There you go. Let me read this direct quote from Gentleman. You turn around and look what happened last year. Once we got that O-line fixed better, we're going to continue working on that. Look at what we did in the second half of the year in the offense. They went 4-4. Eli had 13 touchdowns and 5 picks. I want to say Saquon balled in them 4 wins.
Yeah. And before last season started, I ain't gonna say I was on the Eli bandwagon, but I was hey, if you give him some time, I think he can still hold up.
Yeah.
I ain't on that boat no more.
No, Eli's done, man.
Even though because the O-line was actually a little bit better last year.
You remember they brought the dude from the Patriots. They drafted the dude in the second round.
Well, he sucked. He ended up not living up to the contract. Sold him.
No, he's not.
So
he's not.
Yeah, but
they got rid of Eric Flowers. That was a positive.
It's time for Eli to go sit
down. He ain't going nowhere.
No.
And did you hear the stories this week that now they're saying they're not looking at Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah, I saw that, but we'll see.
I hope they bullshitting. If they trade that 6 and 17 to go up to get Kyler Murray.
Well, a lot of people saying that's not even going to be enough.
To get him?
Just not necessarily for him, just the value that pick holds.
That's pretty damn solid. A 6 and a 17? What do you think you got to get him? Well, up to y'all. Y'all, okay. Let's go to y'all. I have to look
at the chart because see they got this value chart where each pick of each round holds a certain amount of points, and so the top 3 picks are worth like a whole bunch of points. Just say a whole bunch of points.
Gotcha.
And so in order to make it equal, it's almost like the NBA deal where NBA trades where the money got to match.
Right.
6 and the 17th pick alone won't be enough money to match what the number 1 pick is supposed to be worth. That's why
I was about to say I sound stupid talking about would y'all do it because we got to get the 1 to get in front of Arizona. So we got to go to them, and a 6 and 17 probably wouldn't cut it.
Yeah, you have to throw some more in there. And see, by the Giants needing to rebuild, I can't see them giving away a whole lot or most of their assets to jump up when they're gonna have a guy that they can draft to just stay if they just stay at 6.
Right.
Unless they start to hear some things like Miami is going to move up, and I don't think they had the capital to move up into the top 3. You know, and if anybody looking to get the 2 to trade with us, be prepared to get fleeced.
Yeah. You probably gonna want a future first too, huh?
Yeah. I want this year's first, next year's first, couple seconds, maybe even a third.
Yeah, that sounds like that Chicago deal y'all got.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, I think we had the second pick then, or maybe the third. Yeah. So
them dumbasses gave y'all all that to move down one spot, knowing y'all didn't need a quarterback. Fucking idiots. Anyway,
like who you betting against?
Right. I don't know what more to say about Mr. Gettleman. Clearly, the Mara family believes. Clearly.
See, this is where it gets problematic when you have old senile people as owners and as GMs, because old senile people believe in their old senile friends.
That's a good point, cuz. Can we say that the 2 oldest families in the league got fleeced this summer? The Rooneys and the Maras?
And they used to being like on top of things. Shit is changing.
Yeah.
Shit is changing.
Yeah. All right. They got a lot of picks. Man, we'll see. You ready to talk some basketball?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's get it.
All right. One of us did a bracket this week.
Yeah.
I did it like 5 minutes for the show. Like a legit 5.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie. I ain't seen all these teams. I haven't. I ain't gonna flex.
Hey man, I learned about most of these teams' conference tournaments and then just watching the tournament. You know, most of these teams you really don't need to know about. You know, because you'll know who the Cinderellas are. It's usually like a 12 beating a 5. You know, something like that.
I'm just gonna give my Elite 8, and then my Final 4 and my, winner or whatever. All right, my Elite 8. I got Virginia and Tennessee in the South, North Carolina and Kentucky in the Midwest. Have I been missing shit? Kentucky's pretty good now, huh?
Hey man, remember at the beginning of the season when Duke beat the brakes off of them?
Yeah.
Kentucky is a good team. They're gonna be around. They got shit in that game.
Here and they're a dark horse to win this shit.
They got some bigs. They playing some solid ball. The SEC on the low it ain't on the low no more. But the SEC has some good teams this year. Between Tennessee, LSU, I think was the number 1 seed. Auburn. Auburn kind of slacked off. They were one of the teams that was supposed to be in the mix early in the season.
They made the SEC championship. They just lost it, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying throughout the season they didn't fare as well as people predicted at the beginning, but they still are a solid team.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Kentucky is definitely a team to be reckoned with. Now I think before they get to what people are predicting, I guess basically UNC and them playing for the chance to go to the Final Four, depending on what Kansas can do, because I want to say that regional is in somewhere close by.
I'm taking Auburn in that regional over Kansas.
Okay. So you got Auburn playing us.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got KU probably playing what, Iowa State or Ohio State?
I got them playing Iowa State and Kentucky winning, and then Carolina winning to go to the Final Four to play Virginia.
Okay. I think Virginia going to get put out again.
Wisconsin?
I think Tennessee is going to get them.
Okay. I mean, that's solid. Tennessee's been balling this year. Rick Barnes has not gotten the recognition.
Yeah.
They're balling.
I think Tennessee is got a good chance. Now, Tennessee got to be careful because I haven't watched them much this year, but I know his coaching pedigree. Jay Wright and Villanova, they're 6th seed this year.
They ain't got the talent they got last year. They got hit in the first round last year.
I got you. I want to say I heard Kansas State is good. They may be a little tough opponent for Virginia. But Virginia's going to be tough as long as they continue to play their good defense, which they've always had. They're supposed to have a little bit better offense this year.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But I think I got Tennessee beating them in the regional to go to the Final Four.
Okay, so you got Tennessee. We both got North Carolina, right?
Oh, of course.
Final Four. Okay. All right, let's go to this next one. I got Duke and Michigan State. I'm not worrying about the play-in. Duke is going to get there. Mississippi State playing Duke. Duke getting out. I got LSU and Michigan State, but then Michigan State playing Duke. I really want to take Michigan State over Duke. I really wanted to, but I laid off of it. I want to say they beat them, or was that Kansas beat Duke last year in the tournament?
I don't know, but I'm taking I'll take Michigan State over Duke. You can pencil me in for that. I think
that feels solid, don't it?
I think Michigan State got the bigs to contain Zion.
Yeah,
which I think is key.
Gotcha.
Because Zion, he's a beast, but if you look at how he scores, it's off of a lot of it is off setups. Lob, stays close around the basket, and people just really just being scared to touch him.
That boy's second jump is off the hook, though.
Yeah. But I think some of these, I think you get a team that's got some big bodies that can at least maybe not match up with them jumping wise, but match up with them girth and size wise, and kind of knock him around a little bit like he be knocking people around, then, the outcome could be a little different. I don't understand why none of these teams, Carolina included, don't attack him more.
Right.
Somebody that big that's going to go after pretty much every shot on the defensive end shouldn't be having only like 1 or 2 fouls a game.
Absolutely.
So I think
we got scared of him second half last week.
Yeah. And then we couldn't hit the side of a barn. And matter of fact, our 3-point shooting has been off like the last 2 weeks. So we got to tighten that up or we're going to be going home early. But I think Izzo, I always like Izzo in the tournament. I always kind of pick his teams to go far. So I think if anybody can beat Duke, it would be them. I'll give Virginia Tech, if they can get there, just by them being a familiar foe in the ACC, I'll give them a puncher's chance against Duke if they play a perfect game. But outside of that, I think Duke should get to the Elite Eight with no problem.
I took Mississippi State right there, but, that could go either way. I got LSU, of course, losing to Michigan State. So you're taking Michigan State. I got Duke. Let's go to that final bracket below. I got Gonzaga beating Florida State. Who was this? Texas Tech losing to Michigan. I'm going to take Michigan over Gonzaga.
I like Michigan. I like Michigan coming out of that bracket as well.
They feel like they got unfinished business because they got blowed out last year, right?
I believe so.
Villanova beat them last year, blowed them out, ran them off the court. So I got Duke, Michigan. You got Michigan State, Michigan. That'd be solid.
Right. I didn't even think I did that without even trying.
Yeah. I got Virginia, North Carolina. You got Tennessee, North Carolina. I'm taking North Carolina over Virginia, which means I'm taking them over Tennessee. I'm taking Duke. Nah, I'm going to take Michigan over Duke. A lot of them cats are grown. So I don't believe they're going to be scared of them. And, I'd run zone on their asses. Zion would have to jump over 3 dudes if it's me. And they can't shoot, and they can't make free throws. That's the biggest thing with Duke people ain't talking about. They can't shoot threes, and they can't make free throws.
And that is not something that you normally see out of a Duke squad. Also, the fact that Marquise Bolden, not a glitz and glamour kind of guy, but he's a big piece of what they do on defense. And I don't think he's going to be seeing any time in this tournament due to that knee.
That's old boy got hurt last Friday, right?
Right.
Okay.
Don't
it seem like Coach K, he went for the stars, but he didn't team build this year? Because there's no shooting on this team. They always have somebody who can shoot the ball.
Right. Well, Cam is supposed to be the shooting. RJ's supposed to be the shooting. What's the other kid's name? McConnell. He's actually, I think, their best shooter, but he can't really get touches or really get on the court because you got 3 other dominant guys.
Yeah.
The thing with Duke, you just got to stay away from turning the ball over and letting them get out and run. You can do that and make it a slow game, then you got a little bit better of a chance. But you cannot let them boys get out to running and start throwing oops, Zion jumping from fucking half court and shit, it's a done deal if you let all of that happen. So
the first play last week, he took off from like a step inside the free throw line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, all right, finish off yours. So what do you got for the remainder?
So I got I got Tennessee and North Carolina in one Final Four matchup. I'm taking Carolina.
Okay.
And the other one I've got Michigan State versus Michigan. I'm gonna take Michigan in the squeaker.
Okay.
Tar Heels over Michigan State in the championship game.
We owe them. We owe them. Hey, if Roy get the 4.
Hey man, Roy's already at the table anyway.
Yeah, but he'll really be at that table with 4.
But absolutely, especially, I mean, we didn't get there last year, but 2 out of the last 3 years we've been in the championship game. You know, so this is becoming a regular thing. If we can get to another Final Four here, this is a regular thing, and we're doing it without the one and done guys for the most.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Nasir, that's for you. You need to come back.
Please come back to school, son. Please. JP Tokoto wants you to come back to school. Brandon Wright wants you to come back to school.
What's the big man?
Marvin Williams wants you to come back to school. Tony Bradley.
There you go, Bradley. Yep. Come back to school, cuz.
I can name some others. Stop right there. Come on back to school, that's it.
Hey, dog, where is Bryce Johnson playing?
I don't know if that was Pakistan, Israel. I don't know where the fuck that was, but he's still somewhere catching lobs and catching shit off the rim. What's up, Bryce?
Come back to Roy. He gonna get your mind right. All right. I put on here this Zion hype. I went back to 2003 and I looked at all the number 1 picks between.
Before you go on that, just think if we get a Duke North Carolina championship game.
That'd be the shit.
Oh boy.
That'd be the shit.
Oh boy. All right, go ahead.
All right, these number 1 picks, I went back to 2003 because I'm starting to believe this Zion hype is becoming reality. Because I'm looking at LeBron. That's the only one in 2003 that had this type of hype. The rest of these cats?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of hype around Greg Oden because, that was the him and KD draft. But, of course, you know what happened with Greg Oden's knees. It just didn't transpire. We knew AD was the consensus number 1 pick. We knew that all season pretty much. Outside of that, yeah, the rest of this shit is some of it's to be determined. Right. If you look at Andrew Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins is what he is.
He is
Ben Simmons. We don't know. Can Markelle Fultz put on deodorant? I don't know. Right. That probably to lift your arms. DeAndre Ayton, he seems to be playing good in Phoenix, but tell me I've watched the Phoenix game and I'll show you a liar.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to see. But, yes, LBJ has the most hype out of all these guys. Now, with Zion, beginning of the season, I'm like, look, I ain't seen nothing but YouTube videos of him dunking on what looks like to me inferior high school talent. I need to see more. And Zion has checked off some boxes throughout the season. Okay? He's got a nice handle that I didn't know that he had. He can get to the basket and everything. Now, the jump shot, he's going to have to work on that because just his form alone doesn't make me confident that he's going to be able to be a consistent jump shooter. And he only shoots
what I like the most, right?
30% from the college three-point line. And, the NBA three-point line is further. So
I like that he plays defense.
Yeah.
I love that. I know people watch the NBA, but spoiler alert, they don't play a lot of defense. They really don't. So I got the draft odds as of yesterday. We're going to see what happens. I mean, we got about 12, 13 games left in the NBA. I hope that cat don't end up in Phoenix or Cleveland somewhere to where his career is going to die for 7 years. But we're going to see.
I mean, I definitely agree with him being the number 1 pick. Because coming into the season, I guess we were just more or less talking about we talk a lot about fits for the Hawks.
Yeah.
And, I was saying RJ or Cam I thought would be a better fit for the Hawks because we already got John Collins.
I had a good question for you with that too, but go ahead.
I'm not sure if Zion is a 3 at the pro level or is he a 4.
He's a 4.
I don't exactly. So that's the only thing I question about the Hawks fit, especially with John Collins being there.
Real quick, if Dallas finishes outside of 5, would you trade our pick plus their pick to move up to 2 for Barrett, or would you just take whatever's available? Because I don't think we're gonna get Zion.
I mean, like I said, we'll see how the lottery, we'll see how it plays out. If we get one, then
that'd be the shit.
Hey,
that'd be the shit.
I would take Zion right now if we get
absolutely.
No,
I'm gonna take the best player available if we end up at 1, but I'm not sure if we're gonna end up at 1.
Because I'm off, even though he's good, I'm off RJ Barrett. I don't, at least for the Hawks.
You think Trey couldn't make him better though? He gonna get open shots.
He's a ball hog too much, and he's not gonna get some of the stuff that he's getting at college level. He's not gonna get some of that at the NBA level.
That boy does have a quota, don't he?
You know, and I can see him being the black hole type player. I think Cam Reddish actually may end up being a better pro than what we've seen at college because he just really don't get touches consistently, and he can be a forgotten afterthought after Zion and RJ.
And he's been falling in the mock, so I'll take him.
So yeah, I wouldn't really trade. I wouldn't really trade up to try to get RJ Barrett. No, I wouldn't do that. No.
Gotcha. All right, let's run through a few NBA stories real quick. I was thinking about this the other night, and I'm in a pickle with this. Who's the coach of the year?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, you got to put Coach Bud in there.
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers.
Nate McMillan.
I would say Pacers coach Nate McMillan, definitely. They still got
Malone in Denver.
Malone in Denver, yeah, because they could very well have a number 1 seed.
I think that's about it.
Those are some good candidates. So if you had to ask me right now, I would say it probably would go to Bud or Malone, just for the fact where they got their teams are in the number 1 position in the conference. Right. And that tends to factor into it a lot.
I like what Doc did this year, though.
Yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, they still are an 8 seed, so they don't have the wins, I don't think, for him to get it. But I would give it to Nate McMillan. I would give it to Nate McMillan.
Depot been out basically 2 months, and they're still at 4th in the East. Yeah.
So I think Bud or Malone is going to get it, but in my book, it would be Nate McMillan.
All right. Who's the best player in the East right now to you? I know who it is for me. I'm gonna see what you say.
I'm not going with the obvious choice. I know a lot of people probably saying Giannis. I'm not going that route.
I'm not there. Prove me right.
I'm gonna go.
Prove me right.
I mean, you take load management out of it. I'm going Kawhi or Embiid.
Embiid for me.
You know what I'm saying? Those are my 2 right there.
Did you see any of that game on Sunday?
No, I didn't.
I want to say he had 40 and 15, making free throws, hitting threes, people. I love the fact that these cats on TV are shitting on the 76ers. Don't nobody want to see them in the playoffs.
I really don't know why they're shitting on them.
Nobody wants to see that team in the playoffs.
No.
Nobody.
They don't have the deepest bench, but
I mean, they up to about 7 or 8 now.
That's all you need in the playoffs.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? TJ coming in the back of the spare, being at point. I love that. I love that Mike Scott signing from the start.
And he not be balling. But that sticks to the script. Everybody leaves Atlanta and balls. Everybody.
But yeah, and then the size that they got with you putting out there Redick, Ben Simmons, Tobias, Jimmy, and Embiid.
Smallest dude out there is what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, exactly. I like the lineup that they got. I really do.
I'm gonna say it for the cheap seats once again. If Ben Simmons gets a jumper, it's over for this league. It's over.
Pretty much. That would be a glorious day. So anytime you're ready, Ben,
All right, last
I
one.
hope y'all don't have to lose another playoff series for you to realize I might need to start working on the job.
You really might. All right, last one. Hey man, them folks gonna start fucking with Raymond, aren't they?
Now, see this what you got on here. I didn't hear anything. Did he say something about what people been saying about him?
Nah, man, just every other day it's a story about, Clyde Frazier was shitting on him because he sat at the end of the bench.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that Jenny Buss legit asked about his trade clause. I don't believe that.
And I mean, I just think this just goes along, and I try to keep it real. I try to keep it everything simple, man. If he don't miss 18 games, I mean, you look at where they are in the standings right now. Yeah, they down there in the toilet, but they're really only like 9 or 10 games from where they are to like the 6th spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 9 or 10 games, give or take. You can't tell me that if he doesn't miss 18 games, and then even when he came back, he still wasn't right. You know, you can't tell me if he doesn't miss those games that they don't hold a playoff spot.
Is it not the craziest shit? We're talking about this dude having a down year. He's at 28, 8-8. It's not the craziest shit.
I mean, yeah, and it's just not really that complicated for me. It's just one of those situations where when you winning cures everything, and since they're losing, then it's all these storylines. Of course, it's LeBron. It's 8 straight finals, and he ain't gonna make the playoffs. The way I look at it, we didn't think that we were gonna win a title this year.
No, we didn't.
People thought people like us were crazy for thinking that they would get like a 4 seed, a 3, 4, 5 seed.
They won 35 without him.
You know what I'm saying?
They weren't crazy to believe that.
Exactly. So now the fact that they out of the playoffs and the way the season unraveled, it didn't go as expected. There's a lot of fingers to point in a lot of different directions. If you want to start with Raymond, then you can do that. If you want to start with Jenny Buss in the front office, you can do that. And if you want to point to the fingers of some of the young guys saying, hey, you might need a little bit tougher skin, you know what I'm saying? This is the NBA. This is pros, baby. You're going to be in a lot of trade rooms.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. It's just a lot that you can, say about the season. But you can't tell me the run that they were on for Christmas and beating Golden State ass the way that they did on Christmas, that they were not ready to take the fuck off.
18 games. That's a lot of games. You take 28, 8-8 out your lineup.
Yeah.
Now this summer is huge. You got to get some help. But, I don't believe Jenny Buss had the heart to even talk about trading him. I don't believe it.
Yeah, the trading hot takes those are hilarious to me right now.
They are not trading LeBron James. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You can't agree that they was on a 3 or 4 year plan at the beginning of the season, which is why he signed a long-term contract. And 6 months later, you got to trade him.
And you see how Kobe he fell on the sword for the team this week. He was like, AD is one of the greatest ever. I trade all them dudes for him. Kobe looked out for him.
Amen.
But it is what it is. I'd be concerned if I was the rest of the league because you think that boy worked out last year? The way everybody's shitting on him now? He's averaging 28, 8-8 at 34.
Hey, man. Like you said, sometimes, and I don't mind a team with a plan. Sometimes the plan don't work.
Right.
Okay. So, you talk about, everybody talk about they should have got them shooters. They coming got them shooters. Well, coming into the season, I think that they were trying to go a different route. They were trying not to beat Golden State. They were trying to win in a different way, which is why they went the route that they went with the signings.
What was that, 2015 Cavs team? They muddied the game up. He was going that way. They win 6 with LeBron and some suckers.
Right. The shit didn't work out. Now, if you sit here and tell me that they win a full season with no injuries, LeBron didn't get hurt, and then they're sitting in this position, then we can have some of these hot take discussions that y'all have.
That's another discussion. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, hey man, y'all get y'all clicks, get y'all likes, get your podcast views up. But at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of nothing.
Y'all tell me another NBA. This is my last take on it. Y'all tell me another NBA all-time great at 34 put up 28, 8-8.
LeBron has spoiled us, man. He spoiled us. But
Ain't that crazy though? I'm like dead serious. This dude's 28, 8-8
Right.
And folks ain't even having a down season. How?
I mean, well, and I was gonna say it's not that like he's perfect and not without fault. So we ain't sitting here saying that as well, because you can't give positive and objective criticism about LeBron James without being
he's been a terrible
fan or fanboy. But there have been things with his with the leadership, and things like that. That he could have done better. Absolutely. But at the same time, it's a long season. It is what it is. And I think we're making a big deal on some of this stuff is really, really peanuts that would not be coming up if they were winning games. It just comes with losing. When you start losing and you as polarizing a figure as he is, and you're on a team like the Lakers, then everything is going to get scrutinized. Everything is going to get nitpicked. And Luke Walton, I hope you got to get realtor, buddy.
I hope you did. Isaiah Thomas said last night Boston would have won a title by now had he not been traded. You're full of shit, buddy.
Wow.
You're full of shit. You can't even. You're deactivated most of the time in Denver right now, and you saying they would have won a title? Say word.
Right.
Get up out of here, B.
Yeah, I'm saying on that note, we're gonna put a bow on this thing, man. People, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Episode 165, 164, one of those. But keep listening to us on the Spreaker podcast platform as well as Apple iTunes. Also, don't forget to keep checking out the YouTube channel. Watch, hit those subscribe buttons. Uncle Hay, tell the people
you rated out high tonight because you brought it.
Hey, man, tell these people where to reach you at on social media, man. Appreciate it.
At ReK6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right. You can find me. I'm at Diego Barisham on Twitter as well. Shout out to the Urban Arena crew. Should be getting up them boys, Kane and Ice this weekend. Shout out to Glass and them and Get With The Sports, Team Boy TV, Big Q, and JB, over there. So we appreciate all the support y'all been giving us as well. We always send the love back. All right, man. We up out of here, baby. Uncle Hay, Diego Barishnikov. We are AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. Y'all have a great week. Y'all be easy. Peace.